Hospital bosses ignored months of doctors' warnings about Lucy Letby. Hey, it could be worse. At least she wasn't a little bit politically incorrect at any point. Every cloud, Right then, this story should fill anybody with a functioning brain with utter revulsion and disgust. And I'll tell you why, right? Lucy Letby was killing babies. Now, I know highly educated, philosophical types love to have long arguments about what crime's worse. Are we really here? Is it really a crime? But if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that, I don't know, something as simplistic as killing babies is probably up there when it comes to who should be at the very, very bottom of our Christmas card lists, right? I don't know about you, but I've never sent Ian Huntley a Christmas card. I doubt he gets deluged with presents every year, although there are plenty of completely mental women out there. Maxine. So you never know. But this story, I try to have a good sense of humour when I'm rounding up the news, but stories like this boil my piss in my bladder because, essentially, your children are sacrificed on the altar of political correctness. I said the same about the Manchester bomber, right? There was dozens of pieces of evidence that were ignored by the likes of Philip Rutnam and all the other self-serving slime buckets that work for the state. And they don't care, because it's your kids who redecorate the walls of public buildings. Even like concerts and museums aren't safe these days. I don't want to go to the British Library and see that the main foyer has been redecorated in brain matter grey. That's not my bag, baby. Let's read the story and I'll sum up, as usual, shall we? The ludicrous, infuriating lunacy that the BBC called a story. Hospital bosses failed to investigate allegations against Lucy Letby and tried to silence doctors, the lead consultant at the neonatal unit has told the BBC. The hospital also delayed calling the police despite months of warnings that the nurse may have been killing babies. I had to take my eyeballs out and polish them there. That is not a paragraph you expect to read on a news website. Let's zoom in on it. The hospital also delayed calling the police despite months of warnings that the nurse may have been killing babies. Can you imagine how the phone call went? Hello, police. Yeah, I think the nurse is killing babies. Yeah, I'm one of the doctors at the hospital. Yeah, I think the nurse is killing babies. Oh, but you only think she's killing babies. What? Well, you only think. So, checkmate. Yeah, and you're a man, a heteronormative patriarchal man in a powerful position, and she's just a woman, a poor woman. So what you doing? I think you should hang up before we investigate you, fella. Oh, hang on a sec, I've just heard her refer to her Asian fella with a contracted version of the country of Pakistani. Yeah, she just said that to some bloke. We'll be there in 30 seconds. We all know that's how it'd go. It's not even funny, is it? Months of warnings about killing babies. If anybody, a member of the public, made a complaint and said, I heard that nurse say something rude to a Pakistani man. I heard that nurse made some comment about dodging soap with regards to a gentleman with a bit of a tan. The bobbies would have been around there 10 seconds later. They'd have parachuted through, fast roped out of a helicopter, shot her with a beanbag gun, and she'd be in Guantanamo Bay by now, balancing one-footed on a bread crate with a sack over her head and some electrodes hanging off her piss flaps, right? We all know it. So what's this all about? Killing babies? Yeah, we've got plenty of babies. Loads of them. I'll tell you what we need. More oil. Yeah. Cheers. The unit's lead consultant first raised concerns about Letby in 2015. 2015? I thought it was going to be like 2022 or something. Like, oh my God, they took a year. 2015? I could have personally fathered 500 babies myself since 2015. Well, maybe 50. I'm getting on a bit. Letby has been found guilty of murdering 7 babies, attempting to murder 6 others, and at least 5 happened between June and October, despite months of warnings, and the final two were in 2016. Panorama and BBC News have been investigating how Letby was able to murder and harm so many babies for so long. I know. Because we don't live in a meritocracy anymore, because the police are grossly incompetent, because the NHS is more concerned about diversity, equity and inclusion than actually doing its bastard job, because we're living in clown world, because political correctness is more important than murder, right? Because, and what is that essentially? Essentially calling someone a racial epithet is just being rude. It's like calling someone fatty or short ass. You're being rude to someone. It's an insult. And the last time I checked, if anyone called me a scruffy, pasty, hairy, northern, Ewok-looking twat, no police would need to be involved. In fact, the last time I rang my nana, that's exactly what she called me. No harm done. But killing babies, being far down the list, and 10 rungs on the ladder below, being a bit rude to a foreign gentleman, is the height of madness. And every parent, in fact, no, not even just every parent, every civilised human being with a hole in their arse should be outraged, absolutely incandescent with furious rage at the state of the United Kingdom. But that's just what I think. Am I lacking in patriotism? Do you think I'm being a bit harsh? Well, I think you are completely off your box if you disagree, but I'd love to know. I'd love an argument in the comments. The fact that that woman was left to kill babies after months and years of warnings by medical professionals. But if she'd have said something like, "Ooh, that woman wearing a full body burqa, she looks a little bit like a postal receptacle," right? We all know what I'm referring to. The local constabulary would have behaved as if Harold Shipman was marching through the corridors with an axe in one hand and his balls in the other. Harold Shipman, if he was also an axe-killing sex pest, that had been there in 30 seconds, the flying squad will have descended on the place, and this is where we are. It just gets ignored. Absolute lunacy. Anyway, that'll have to do you for the day. I'm going to go and do something useful. Also, I can't stream on Monday. Tragically, I've got to work for a living, and I started a new job. I don't know long term whether it's going to affect my streaming hours. Possibly not, because I'm doing shifts and the like, but I will let you all know. Thanks for watching, thanks for sharing it as usual, and I will see you all very soon. Unless I have an argument with a foreign man and I use a mild insult, at which point I'll get 10 years in jail. So you won't see me ever again. Anyway, thanks for watching, see you very soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.